Hi there, it's Wednesday the 22nd of July 2020. We're continuing to look at how to persevere under trial. Of course, the COVID has been a great trial for all of us, but we also face trials in our health, we face trials with finances, with families, with relationships, with friendships, all kinds of different ways. So how do we persevere under trial? Well, we're looking at Hebrews 10 verses 19 to 25 to give us the answers. And there's 5 different points given there. First of all, it says, let us draw near to God. To persevere under trial, we need to draw near to God. We need to spend time with God. We need to pray. We need to listen to Him. We need to draw strength from Him. We cannot do it ourselves. Secondly, it says, let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess. You have to have hope if you're going to persevere under trial. And if you feel that hope beginning to fade, then it goes on to say, let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess. For God Himself is faithful. The one who holds us, the one who promises, He is faithful. So when we feel ourselves losing hope, we look to God because He has promised and He is faithful. And thirdly, it says in verse 24, let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds. If you want to persevere under trial, then you need to consider how you can spur somebody else on towards love and good deeds, and also how someone can spur you on towards love and good deeds. It's interesting that here we are called to look to the needs of others. Let us consider how we may spur one another on. One of the things that happens when we are in trial or difficulties is that we can become quite inward looking, that we begin to focus on ourselves, on our pain, on our need, on how difficult we are finding it. We can actually lock ourselves down. Never mind lockdown of COVID, we can lock ourselves in. We can choose not to relate to others, not to contact others, and we can just be alone with our own difficulties, with our own thoughts. Now, it's right sometimes that we are on our own, but not always. And so here we are being encouraged to look out. And actually one of the ways to persevere under trials and tests is actually to help others with their trials and tests, because it helps us with our trials and tests if we will help others. If we will look to helping other people, look to encouraging others, then it does something to us. It helps put our trial and test in perspective. It encourages us. It brings greater determination to us. So as you're in your trials and tests just now, ask yourself, is there somebody else that I can help? Is there somebody else that I can reach out to? And actually, as well as being a blessing to them, it will be a blessing to me. Let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds. Spur, that's an interesting word. Of course, we've all seen westerns where the cowboy gets on his horse and he's having to chase somebody, and instantly he puts the spurs into the horse's side and the horse leaps and runs and gallops away. Consider how we may spur one another on. That doesn't sound a very pleasant word, to spur, to dig the spurs into somebody else. Our modern vernacular would be to give someone a kick up the backside or a kick up the bottom. It's kind of the same idea that's been talked about here. Sometimes we need that in life. Sometimes we can get so lost and so locked into our own sorrow and suffering that actually what we need is someone to give us a bit of a kick, a bit of a spur, a bit of a nudge to say, a bit of a shake to say, come on, get up. And you can do this. You can persevere through this trial. You can do this. You can get to the other side. I remember when I was younger, wondering about what to do with my life, and I was just almost wasting my life at one point, really, just working in a job that I didn't really enjoy doing, not really going anywhere. And an older chap came to me and he said, what are you doing, Graham? You are wasting your talents. You have got the ability to do something far more than you're doing just now. That didn't sound very encouraging to me at the time, but you know, it gave me the shake that I needed. He says, you need to get in to do your theological studies. Go to university, go to Bible college, get your training, and then get into church somewhere and serve the kingdom of God in somewhere and use what God has given you, use the gifts that God has given you and stop wasting them in that job that you're in just now. And that is exactly what I did. And I needed that spur. And you know, that helped me to go. And it helped me to persevere through the difficulties and challenges that I faced with that new pathway in life. So if you want to persevere under trial, first of all, you need to draw near to God. Secondly, hold unswervingly to the hope that you profess, because God is faithful. And thirdly, consider how you might spur others on, and consider how others might spur you on towards love and good deeds and all that God has for you. God bless you. Speak to you again tomorrow.